Welcome, I'm Vine and today I have for you an overview of the Rampart faction from the Heroes of Might and Magic 3. If you are tired of the sci-fi stuff in the Might and Magic franchise that I was talking about in previous overviews, here it ends, as this town is pure traditionalist fantasy. As even if elves have lifespans to remember the ancients and their technology, they typically don't give a damn about it. Rampart is a good alignment faction of renegade elves, representing the kingdom of Avli ruled by Elvish person. Eldritch person for the last 400 years. This kingdom came to be centuries earlier when some pure-blooded elves from Vori ran away from their isolationist kin to explore new lands. From that day, they often clashed with human kingdoms on Antagarich. This does not exclude Erathia, as relations between those two nations are basically the same as Britain and France in real life. Rivals that like to trash each other for petty reasons, but always unite in the face of mutual threats, and have some weird diplomatic ties despite their rivalry. Now, as for overall mechanics, the Rampart is a very economical and easy town, full of cheap buildings and solid creatures that are straightforward in their design. Funny enough, for a faction full of magical creatures, this town specializes in anti-magic skills backed up with overall defense focus. We can even say that Rampart is basically the tank of Heroes of Might and Magic. And on top of that, this town does not have many flaws. Next, moving to the units. On the first level, we have centaurs and centaur captains. Despite not having special abilities, they are considered to be the best unit of the first level thanks to their stats, specifically health and speed, that makes them useful throughout the whole game. On the second level, Rampart gives us dwarves and battle dwarves, extremely slow warriors with 20 and 40% magic resistance respectively. This stacks with other sources of magic resistance, like Unicorn's anti-magic aura and resistance skill, which combined can give them 80% of magic resistance. Why dwarves are part of the Elvish faction? Well, mostly because of legacy design from previous games, but otherwise, Avli always had good relations with Short Kings. On the third level, we get the main ethnic population of the faction, Wood Elves and Grand Elves. That's the only ranged unit of this town, which would be a significant flaw if it wasn't also the best unit of third level and one of the best shooters in the whole game. On top of this, when upgraded, they even shoot twice. They are also the reason why so many Rampart's Might heroes, rangers, have archery skill, and why it's considered meta to have it despite owning just one shooter. This unit is so good that it completely validates this investment. On the fourth level, sit Pegasi and Silver Pegasi rode by skimpy-clothed elvish women, which is accurate since this unit's defense is on par with what bikini armor will give you in real life, which is almost nothing. Nonetheless, Pegasi can fly and have a unique skill of making enemy spells cost 2 points of mana more, which makes it an interesting counter to human opponents who rely on cheap spells. On the fifth level, we get the Dendroid gods and soldiers, living trees that don't like to move, don't like you to move, and as plant BDSM specialists, they can just force you to not move. They use their roots to bind enemies in place right beside them, often trapping rusher units in perpetual punishment pit that cannot be escaped until they kill the dendroids, which is a hard thing to do since this unit is another designated tank. Still, it's a pain to take them out of town as their abysmal speed significantly slows down the whole army. On the 6th level we get unicorns and war unicorns. I already mentioned that they give all other units, but not themselves, plus 20% magic resistance. On top of that, they have a 20% chance of blinding the enemy for 3 turns. Those special abilities are the same before and after the testosterone injection that is the unicorn's upgrade, as the only thing it does is health and speed increase on top of already good stats. And finally, on the 7th level are green and gold dragons. Green are kinda weak, but are still dragons with all their advantages, including spell immunity up to 3rd level. Upgraded, they become both stronger and weaker than black dragons, as they have better speed and basic stats, but are vulnerable to 5th level spells, which are the most devastating ones in the game. Nonetheless, again, those are dragons, and as our dragons are powerhouses on the battlefield. Time for my opinion, as that was the all relevant info about the faction. This is my favorite faction, so I'll be totally biased. I like the design of it, from mechanics to aesthetics. Basic units are useful, many are tanky and tend to just not die. But also, the cheap buildings tickle my builder instincts, giving me a feeling of faster game progression than any other castle. Unit composition is awesome. I get dragons in my favorite color, manly unicorns, elves in bikini armors, dwarfs, even walking trees to torture people. Like, man, almost everything I need is here. The same I can say about Rampart's aesthetic design, as this is a forest faction and has most nature-focused town screen that, in my opinion, is just beautiful. Anyway, what's your opinion about this faction? Write it in the comments, remember to visit channel's Discord, and see you later!